What is going on, you guys? I'm going to be telling you a Halloween story with our just carved pumpkin. This video went up yesterday to celebrate the Halloween spooky oogies. And I'm going to tell you a couple haunted stories. Just to tell you haunted stories with Pumpkin, One-Tooth, Hillbilly, and the beautiful and scary and dreadful Halloween penis. These will all be made up on the spot, so they will be ridiculous, but be ready. Be ready, because they will be scary. On a very dark and very stormy night, Big Belly Heather walked out, scared, but full of fright. She didn't know what to do, and it was Halloween, and she had a craving for Halloween candy. The fat girl was around 8 years old, and her big, bloated belly craved more. She needed hunger. She needed calories. And as she searched and she prowled all around Halloween Town, she waited, craved, and prayed that she would get a big, fat, badass candy bar. And the very scared, very frightened, fat-ass Heather, as her friends called her, and it was her nickname. I'm not calling her obese. She is it. She is. But she owns it. She wears her obesity with pride. There's nothing wrong with morbid obesity. Do not think I'm a hater. Okay? She walked around the streets and the cracked sidewalk of Halloween Town. The trees whistled and the wind blew. It started shaking and quaking, and her thighs were absolutely chafing. Fuck. And she saw the house of haunted Man Margaret. Yes, the man's name was Margaret. The only house that she hadn't been in Halloween Town. His lights were all out and candles strewn the yard with very old Halloween decorations. She knew she was told never to go there, but on that night, the hunger and the rumbling of her stomach said, I must. Big Belly Heather had already hit every single house on Halloween Town, already 5 times. Changing her costume, yes, 5 times, and going to every single house 5 times. But she did not go to old Man Margaret's house once. Her belly moaned and her hunger beckoned. Fill your belly up, Heather. You need it. Calories! She sat there hungry and needing and eating. But once she reached the bottom of her bag, she knew her decision was made. She began walking over to old Man Margaret's house, dressed as a bottle of hot sauce. She was so hungry, and she knew that this is her last chance at getting more candy. She planned on hitting this house 5 times in a matter of 2 minutes. The weird part was, is she didn't see any other trick-or-treaters around old Man Margaret's house. She was a little worried and a little scared, but she said, fuck it, let's just go. She began walking up the steps. They creaked and they ached as she walked, and she said, I'm scared. She was very, very frightened, very spooked. She walked inside and knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. As she pounded the old wooden door, there was no answer. Fat-ass Heather said, well, I've got to get candy. I've got to eat. My big belly needs some big old food. So she knocked again. No answer. She looked over and saw an old doorbell. And she rang the motherfucker. Ring, ring, ring. She heard the doorbell ringing, and she decided, is he ever gonna answer? Then the door slammed. Did I scare you? Open. She couldn't see past the darkness, but sitting a few feet away from the door was a basket of candy, overloading with Three Musketeers, Kit Kats, Skittles, Sour Patch Kitties, and big fat fucking things that she would fill and eat with her ugly, rotten teethies. But would she just go in and grab the candy? How exactly would she handle this situation? She was scared, and she was unsure of what to do. Big Belly Heather ran full force, showing no remorse, and snatched up the candy. The door slammed as she entered the house. Ghosty mouthing beckons. What am I doing? Ghosts howled all around her, and her big fat ass fell through the floor with a thud. She awoke in a very strange world, a spooky world, where she had to pay bills, eat candy, only once a day. And that was the story of her nightmare. Big Belly Heather works at an office, and she works at a call center every day. And she hates her job. And after she ate 400 pounds of candy, she dozed off in her office chair and dreamed about eating as much candy in Halloween Town. But then she woke up. Okay, so I'll do one more story. One more story. This one will be about Bigfoot. There was 4 kids. One-Toothed Timmy, One-Eyed Hillbilly, Sarah, and Chlamydia Burns. Now, Chlamydia Burns was driving on an RV. The kids, they were going to a very remote location. And yes, I have already forgotten all of their names. They didn't know where they were wandering to, but they decided to set up a camping adventure off in the woods somewhere. Very, very, very remote, very desolate, and somewhere where they could just hang out, jack off, finger each other, and crack open a couple beers. Because that's exactly what kids do these days. They've been on the road for about a couple hours, and they decided to just wander and do whatever the hell they could because they were careless and they didn't give a fuck about their own well-being or anybody on the road. Chlamydia Burns, the driver, had already drinking 28 cans of beers, and they littered the floor. One-Toothed Timmy and One-Eyed Hillbilly spewed together, jacking off in the back of the RV. What was the other one's name? Oh, Sarah. Yeah. Sarah sat there smoking up her cigarettes. She's already gone through a full carton. And the scariest part is, she is toothless. That's what cigarettes do to you. But it's your will to smoke, so do it if you need to. The kids wandered to a forest and eventually arrived at a grove hidden within the trees. The rickety road was very, very scary and very desolate. It was lined with jack-o'-lanterns. Now the kids said, "What a spooky place to spend Halloween." Chlamydia Burns yelled through big burps and belches, "Yeah, it's alright." And she stomped and stomped her way out of the RV after parking it. Now it was already nighttime and the kids couldn't see very well, and it was actually quite dark already. So what they decided to do was continue wandering through the forest to find the best spot to camp. They ended up camping next to a river, and they ended up shitting all over in the river. After they pitched their tent and spent the next 5 hours fucking each other, they fell asleep, eating candy, eating ass, and smoking grass. In the middle of the night, as they all had their big orgy and fell asleep on top of each other like a clusterfuck in the cheap $4 tent they bought down the street at a garage sale, with bed bugs and holes and cigarette burns all spewed throughout the thing. They heard a noise. But it wasn't any ghost. It sounded like a man or an ape yelling and beckoning through the woods, begging for his prey to run so he could have a chase. They all rolled over and farted and belched some more and said, it's just a bear, you know. We've got our shotguns because we don't go anywhere without them because we are hillbillies. And they said, we'll be fine. And, you know, in that moment, they really truly believed that they would survive the night. 2 seconds later, the Bigfoot slammed through the forest, grabbed the tent by its top, and started swinging it around with all 4 of the kids inside. Their bodies smashing against each other just like they were when they were having the orgy. They fucking were getting bones broken, smashing against trees, smashing against rocks. Bigfoot had completely disabled his victims. He ripped open the cheap cigarette-burned, bed-bug-infested polyester tent for $4 down the street at a garage sale and grabbed fucking One-Tooth Timmy by the fucking throat and ate him whole. He grabbed Big Hillbilly One-Tooth motherfucker and squashed his head. He took his asshole and slammed it in Sarah's face and shat down her throat, suffocating her, leaving Chlamydia Burns alive and alone, with a cigarette in hand and broken bones. She watched Bigfoot drag away her 3 friends, holding their corpses by his asshole, farting and spewing vomit from his vile mouth. And that was the last she ever saw of her friends. She was charged with murder and has been in jail ever since. I love you guys so much. I know these stories were absolutely fucking ridiculous, but hopefully you enjoyed them. I made the pumpkin video and it was fun. It was very ridiculous, but it was still fun. Anyways, I love you so much, and I will see you very soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Know that I fucking love you, and I will see you guys very soon. Let me know if there's any more videos you want to do. Maybe I'll do how to make a Thanksgiving fucking feast with only using ramen noodles or something video. I don't know, something crazy. Anyways, I love you guys. I will see you very soon, and remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video. Bye, guys.